Hey guys, Josh here. The next one I'm doing is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, this one I think is really important for the Captain Marvel and also Inhumans movie. Reason being is because obviously this movie takes place first, but one thing that happened in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie was that we were introduced to the Nova Corps, which they could have totally ignored and not ever brought into the MCU, and also the Kree Empire, which similarly they could have ignored, or it could have just been like a faint reference, just like they do with some of the other aliens in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when Sif was on Earth and talking to Coulson. Now, the reason why I think these characters are important, and obviously if you saw a thumbnail, you could tell I had Richard Rider Nova and Captain Marvel, Ultimate Captain Marvel. The reason why I have those characters on there is because I feel like this would be the movie to really, like, I know James Gunn wants to, investigate Peter Quill's origin. That's fine. He can do that, with the story. But I do think he should make a point to show Xandar, show the Kree Empire, Xandar being the Nova Corps, obviously. Like, last time we left the Nova Corps, they had the Power Gem. I've made videos on this. Other people have made videos on this. There is no reason that the Nova Corps could not make an artificial or synthetic version of the Power Gem's energy, which could, in turn, if they were to do that, it could be the Nova Force. And especially due to the heavy damage done to Xandar, it would make perfect sense for them to vastly improve their military capabilities and defense capabilities, which could give us the human rocket Novas, which would be a much more efficient, mobile, deadlier military force than what we saw the Nova Corps had beforehand. I think that would be just a natural progression. Honestly, they could totally do commentary on today's world where once we are attacked, like a nation's attacked, their military just skyrockets. I'm not even saying like specific countries, but just in general, throughout history, once your country's attacked, after that, you're kind of, especially when you're already on high alert, after that, you really focus on your military for defense purposes, even though we know sometimes it doesn't always end as well as, people want it to be. And I'm not going to go into that. But similarly with the Kree Empire, they obviously would notice the Nova Corps' new capabilities military-wise, and similarly they'd probably also venture to make their own sort of, not super soldiers, but enhance their military appropriately also to, deal with the potential, threat that is the Nova Corps. Because if you remember from Guardians of the Galaxy 1, we know that they just signed a treaty which wasn't even that stable anyways. Obviously, you could tell by Ronan the Accuser's actions and the fact that the Kree just didn't even, do anything about it. So obviously the Kree don't feel the urge to really hold on to that treaty. It seems like it was done mostly just for, for show, if that makes sense. But anyways, moving on from that, the reason why I mentioned the Kree Empire doing something similar to what the Nova Corps would do with the Human Rocket Novas is because the Captain Marvels always have had the, and this goes for Genisville and all of them, they've always had the bands, the Nega Bands. I just call them the bands for short, because I feel like there's two incarnations of them, besides just the Nega Bands. But anyways, the Nega Bands could be what gives them abilities similar to Nova Force, and they could really introduce that there, build upon that there. And then when we go to the Captain Marvel movie, we'll already know something about them. It just won't seem like some random, thing that's been going on with the Kree Empire. Because honestly, when you really think about it, it wouldn't make sense that the Nova Corps would have, the Novas as we know them from comics, and the Kree wouldn't have anything at all. If they're as big as rivals and enemies as they have been portrayed to be, definitely, they would be making sure that they could stalemate each other. Now, back to the Guardians of the Galaxy themselves, not the Novas, not the Kree. I definitely think they should go into Peter Quill's heritage. Also at the same time, they really need to bring the Collector back. The Collector gave some really interesting backstory into the, cosmic history of the MCU. We got to see stuff like Celestials, which was a pretty big deal. We got to learn more about the Infinity Stones, and I think that's really important. Also, Thanos obviously needs to come back. Nebula has been confirmed to be, coming back in the sequel by James Gunn. James Gunn says he wants to do a lot more with the character. So all in all, I would really like to see the primary narrative focus on Peter Quill learning more about his ancestry. It's been said it won't be Spartax or Spartoy anymore, so we won't be seeing Jason of Spartax, which I'm kind of mixed about. but also Adam Warlock would be an awesome character to see, especially since they are doing the Infinity Gauntlet. So in my mind, besides the Nova Kree subplot, which I would hope would be a subplot, the primary plot it would be really interesting is the fact that Adam Warlock is out of his cocoon, as we have we got a hint of that in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but it'd be nice to see that. And the Guardians of the Galaxy are basically like they meet up with him some way, like either they run into him, they're smuggling him somewhere, something like that. It'd be cool to see that Adam Warlock joins the Guardians in preparation to stopping Thanos. And they could bring the Soul Gem in there, which also I think would be pretty cool to see, because they most likely are going to introduce another gem in this movie, if not focusing more on the Power Gem again. And honestly, I'd actually prefer Adam Warlock keeps the Soul Gem until maybe like Infinity Wars, while Thanos would attack the Nova Corps and take the Power Gem. That'd be pretty cool to see, all in all. And actually, I'd actually prefer that. I know I did the same thing with Thor, where basically Thanos just kind of pimp walks in there, but that would also show how much of a threat he is, and the need to have all these characters team up to defeat him, first off. But to have a scene where, let's say, Thanos attacks Xandar to get the Power Gem, because he knows it's there and he wants it, obviously. And at this point in the MCU, he's pretty close to, this is only a year away, really, from Avengers 3. So he's pretty close to completing the gauntlet at this point. So I'm pretty sure he's just at this point ready to take matters into his own hands. So it would actually make somewhat sense to have Thanos, a scene where he just goes to Xandar, invades Xandar, just wrecks everybody, takes the Power Gem, and leaves. During that battle, because I'm sure it'd be a battle, obviously. During that battle, we could have Roman Day actually die, who's played by John C. Reilly. And from there, we could actually have a passing of the torch, where I guess his helmet shoots off into Earth. Probably inspired by his interaction with Peter Quill, who's from Terra or Earth. He sends his helmet to find the new Nova Corps member that's Earthborn. So that'd be pretty cool to see. Actually, it'd tie it pretty nicely together continuity wise. It would, I guess, if they go that way, it could give a reason to why the next Nova would be human, which could be Richard Rider, and that could set up a potential spinoff film. That'd be pretty cool to see, honestly. But actually, that would also fit very well in the comics, because Roman Day in comics dies, and when he does die, it's kind of like that moment in Green Lantern where the torch gets passed on. Instead of a ring, obviously, it's a helmet. So yeah, that's really it. If I were to talk any more, I'd just be rambling on and on and on. So I'm gonna stop it here, and the next one will be Black Panther. So comment below what your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree? What other films in Phase 3 would you like me to do? And yeah, there you go.